I think it's the patience.
Mm.
It's being willing to listen to people and to hear what they say, and then how to interpret that into their food. I know food. I don't know everything about cooking. I don't know all the different, but I can cook pretty good, and I know what food is good for you, so I can make recommendations.
Hey, this is Matt Helton with One Trust Home Loans, your reverse mortgage experts, and you found us here at the Serving Senior Podcast. This is the podcast where we highlight those businesses and those individuals that are helping seniors not just get by, not just survive, but thrive in their retirement. And today we have a special guest. We have Miss Paige DeJarnatt, and she is with Chefs for Seniors, and she is the franchise owner, and she's the chef in the Murfreesboro area. And she had a very interesting way of describing what they do. Paige, can you give us your tagline?
We don't deliver the meals, we deliver the chef.
That is awesome. And she delivers the smiles. That's what I've really enjoyed about meeting Paige, is she has an infectious personality, an awesome smile, and she makes the seniors feel real comfortable. So, Paige, I'm so glad you're here. How are you doing today?
I'm doing awesome. Thanks for having me.
You're so welcome. Thank you for putting some time in. So, Paige, from the first time I heard you talk, I was really excited to see about you really diving into seniors. A lot of health has to do with garbage in, garbage out, and you're really focused on their input. So I'm so excited for you to share that with the folks. But maybe before you do that, could you kind of give us some background? Where are you from? What have you done in the past, and describe your journey to get to Chefs for Seniors?
Well, I was born in Wisconsin.
Okay.
I lived there for most of my growing up years. I followed my parents down to Florida, excuse me, met my husband, had our children. We lived in Florida for many years,
Okay.
and we missed the season, so we came to Tennessee. I have been in the restaurant business for over 30 years, on and off. It kept drawing me back in. It's a tough business.
Yeah.
So sometimes it can be hard on your body and hard on your mind and hard on your life. But so I went into school. I was working with the school board, and I missed the cooking. I missed food. I think food is healing. I figured out that's how I hug people, is I like to cook for them.
Ah.
And 2 summers ago, I worked at a summer camp for kids, and I was the cook, and I realized I really love this. I need to figure out how to get back into this.
Yeah.
And my mom actually told me about Chefs for Seniors, because they're franchised all over the place. She's in Indianapolis, but she had seen someone talk about it. She said, "You should look into this. You would like this." And sure enough, I did. And I'm loving it so far. It's great.
That is so awesome. Always leave it up to mom. No matter how old you are, mom's always there helping out, huh?
Yeah, so far that's worked out well for me.
Wow, that's so awesome. Well, that's a great story. I guess maybe how was it that, what were you expecting to get out of it? And then now that you're actually knee deep serving seniors, how's it been different maybe than what you expected in a good way?
I think I went into it mostly for the cooking part, because I love to cook. And like I said, I think that food is healing, and working with the seniors has been the bonus part of it. And I have rapport with most of them. I mean, we get to know each other. I'm in their home for a couple hours. So they like to talk. We all like to talk, but I love hearing their stories, and that just makes my time fly by. And then I know that I'm giving them some good food and helping with their health and helping them continue with their health.
That's so neat. Yeah, so you were almost it sounds like you got into it for what you could get out of it, but you're really enjoying it because of what you can give to others, which is so cool.
Yes, definitely.
Yeah, good for you. Wow, that's great. Well, maybe could you share a little bit about maybe the process, like how does it work? And then also maybe share some, I'm sure people are thinking the main benefit is they save time, which is one benefit, but maybe how does it work, and some benefits that the seniors and also the family of the seniors that gets out of what you guys do?
Well, basically, the first step would be I would have a consultation with the senior.
Okay.
I go to their home. They meet me. I meet them. We talk about the process, explain everything. Any questions? I can be. I went on a consultation this week, and I had the daughter on the phone.
Okay.
So we were on speak. She was on speakerphone because she lives in a different state.
Got it.
And then she could help if mom got a little confused about something or she wasn't quite. She goes, well, I think what she's saying, and sometimes that helps coming from a family member as opposed to coming from me. But I will explain it 17 times in all different ways, whatever it takes for them to understand. Whether they decide to do it or not, that's fine.
Okay.
But I just want to make sure they understand everything.
Yep.
So we would go through the consultation. I would check out their kitchen. I kind of see things that they already have in their kitchen. We do the meal plan together. So I know what they like, what they don't like, if they're following dietary restrictions, or if it's just, I don't care anymore. I'm 95 years old. I'll eat what I want. Like, you got it. I can cook what you want. But then the day of the cook, I go to the store. So I do the grocery shopping for them also. And I buy everything that I need unless they have it in their home. I don't have to duplicate things.
Mm.
And I am pretty good at shopping and I get exactly what I need and it'll make those meals. There's not a lot of leftover stuff.
Okay.
But the groceries are theirs.
Got
But
it.
I bring the groceries to the home. I do the cooking. I bring my own pots and pans and knives and cutting boards and all the stuff. Make the meals, package them up, label them, date them. So we make sure we have a date on it so we know how old everything is. And then clean everything up. And then I'm out and I take the trash with me on the way.
Okay, nice. And is it could be a one-time thing, could be ongoing thing, it just depends?
Yeah, sometimes if it's two people, they tend to want me to come every week. But if it's people who still also have a fairly busy lifestyle, if they go out to eat with their family or something like that, maybe I'll come every other week. I have a couple that I come every 3 weeks. I have right now someone who broke their arm, so they need help in the kitchen. But she's hoping that she's going to rehab and she'll be fine. And then she won't need me anymore.
Okay.
And that's fine too.
Got it. Makes sense. Very, very interesting. What's been maybe the most unique scenario that you've dealt with?
Probably right now, and it's not difficult or anything. It's just it was unique to me. Is the mom is paying me. She lives out of state, and it's for her daughter who is late 20s, early 30s.
Okay.
So, but mom helps with the menu, and then she's the one who pays me. But I cook for the daughter in her house.
That's awesome. That's pretty unique. And I guess that's a good point, right? It is chefs for seniors, but you can work with anyone. Is that accurate?
Yeah, definitely. You could be a busy executive who just wants to eat better than the fast food takeouts, and I can help with that.
Okay. Oh, that's great. So cool. Well, Paige, maybe you could share with us, because it's a unique person that would have the personality as well as the skill set to be able to do what you do. So could you please share maybe some of your superpowers, you think, what are some of your qualities that's allowed you to excel at this?
I think it's the patience.
Mm.
It's being willing to listen to people and to hear what they say and then how to interpret that into their food. I know food. I don't know everything about cooking. I don't know all the different, but I can cook pretty good and I know what food is good for you so I can make recommendations.
Yes.
And I'll slowly work into eating some better food, maybe a little more vegetables, but if not, that's okay too.
Yeah. Oh, okay. That's great. Yeah, I could see that where, if you weren't the last time I checked, seniors don't move too fast. And, they could use a really good ear to talk to, I'm sure. And by you being so patient and being calm and being a warming personality, I'm sure that really helps the process go much better. So good for you. That's pretty cool.
Yeah. I love having the conversations while I'm cooking and if they want to, they can hang out in the kitchen and we can talk, or I have one lady who just goes and watches TV, and I'm like, that's fine too.
Wow. That's so awesome. I mean, I'm checking my schedule. I think we could use someone at our house. That would be so cool. Just watch TV and let Paige go to work.
Yep.
Wow, that's great. What's maybe could you give an example of like maybe a basic, do you have a basic, I know it depends on the person, but maybe a basic menu you start with, just an idea of here's kind of a sample of how it could look for the average senior, you know?
Well, basically, you get four entrees.
Okay.
So let me see. I'm trying to remember. Someone just sent me their menu choices for next week. I think we are doing a pepper steak. So it's the steak with bell peppers.
Okay.
Now, the menu suggests having it over rice. No, having it over potatoes, but she doesn't want potatoes. She wants the rice.
Okay.
Not a problem. We can fix that. What else is she doing? She's doing a salmon. Salmon is really good for you. And there's different ways of cooking the salmon. She chose the honey garlic, but I also have the balsamic, which is also a really good. People really like that. And then usually we'll do some sort of chicken, of a lemon chicken that is going over really good right now.
Okay.
And meatloaf, a good standard meatloaf with mashed potatoes.
Wow. That's really cool. That is awesome. So it sounds like you can do any let me ask you this. What do you enjoy cooking the most?
I enjoy cooking different things. So I like it when somebody's like, oh, I want to try this. One thing that I hadn't made before I got into Chefs for Seniors is a chickpea pot pie. So it's a vegetarian, and instead of the chicken, it uses the chickpeas. And I'm like, oh, that's very interesting. She enjoyed it.
Wow.
Obviously, I taste a little bit as I'm going to make sure that, everything is the right way. And I'm like, well, this is interesting. I'm going to make my husband eat this.
Wow. That's great. So how did he like it?
Oh, I haven't made it yet because he's not into that yet.
Okay.
He says, no, leave the chicken in there.
Hey, I think I know how that's going to go down. It's where there's really no other options that night, where it's the chickpea pot pie or nothing, and I bet he's going to love it.
Yeah, that's true. That's how I should do it.
Yeah. Wow, that's great. Maybe Paige, do you have an example where, is there an example where maybe someone wasn't completely into it, or maybe their family got you involved? The homeowner was like, yeah, let's give it a try. And next thing you know, it went over really well and they're really enjoying it.
Right now, I have a couple that are like that. It's like the daughter contacted me. She's like, I go there. They're like, yeah, she wants you to talk to me. And I don't know if I'm going to need you.
Okay.
And then what we do is we start talking about the menu.
Yeah.
We start talking about all the food, and the menus can paint a good picture of all the ingredients. And they're like, oh, that sounds good. I think I want to try that. Next thing I know, they've picked out 12 things. And I said, well, I can't cook all of these at the same time. And they're like, okay, I guess you're going to have to come back 3 times now.
That's so cool. And they didn't even want you there in the first place, huh?
Right.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Just spend the time talking to them and explaining everything. And it usually works out. They'll at least try it. And then once they try it, it's like, oh, this was really easy. All I have to do is go in and open the refrigerator and figure out what I want to eat. And I just heat it up and it's done.
Yep. Wow. That's so cool. Well, if somebody's watching this and maybe, they're not a senior, they don't have a senior, but they have contacts in that world, who's a good referral for you? Meaning, where's a lot of your business come from, and who would be a good person for us to forward this recording to?
Basically, anyone who, like I said, you don't have to be a senior, but if you want to eat better, because I do scratch cooking, I don't buy a lot of packaged stuff. Everything is on the outside of this, the outer rim of the grocery store. Go to the produce, go to the meat section, and it'll help your mind because your gut will feel better. So basically, or anyone with who's got seniors who are out of their area, like these people call me from out of state because their seniors live in Murfreesboro, and they're worried about them. I'm an extra set of eyes. I don't do the caregiving. I don't, clean their house, but I don't leave a mess.
Sure.
And I'm an extra set of eyes who can talk to the seniors and see how they're doing. And I've had one daughter who's like, well, you just let me, every time you leave, shoot me a quick message. Like, is everything good? Or is there something I need to be watching for? Because if I'm in the home all the time, I can notice things that you don't always pick up when you're talking on the phone.
Yeah, that's a good point. And I think you said that you actually come in, bring all your stuff, and then clean it all up. So you're basically in and out.
Right. The only thing I leave behind is some yummy food.
That's awesome. That is so cool. More people need that, because when they're in that situation, senior or not, right? What do? You normally, what's the fastest, the quickest, maybe even not the cheapest, right? But what's the fastest you can get? And before long, you're eating burgers and fries, right? And not what they
Yep.
need, and not what anybody needs, really.
Right. Yeah. McDonald's is not always the answer.
Right. Yeah, that's great. Well, anything that I should have asked you that I didn't ask you? You think somebody would like to know?
I think we covered it pretty good.
Now tell us this, where's your territory? Where would you serve the seniors? And then also, how would they get in touch and find you?
My territory is basically the Murfreesboro area. I can go to Laverne. I can do Smyrna. I can do Rockville, Christiana. I could go further south. It depends. I'm hoping when I hire a senior or hire a chef that they're going to live further south so that I can explore different territories that way. And you can reach me. I have a website. There's a national website that the franchise owns, and it covers a lot of things. And you can also see where all the other franchisees are. And then I'm on Facebook. I'm not on Instagram. Nope. I haven't done that.
That's okay.
And then you can call me directly at my phone number.
Okay, nice. Go ahead and share that with us if you could.
My phone number is 615-967-1766.
Okay, that's awesome. And then also too, I know that if a in-home care or another senior-based business is in the home and they think health and better food could be a solution, you're willing to do seminars, presentations for the group, but also too, you're always up for a good connection if they need to send someone over, right, to try to help with someone's health.
Oh yeah, definitely. Yeah, like if I notice, somebody's having problems, keeping up with their housework or something, then I refer, I have different friends that work in the healthcare industry, and they can send somebody over, and I'm like, hey, call these people.
Gotcha. Oh, that's perfect. That's great to hear. Well, I'm so glad that you're doing this, because it's seldom recommended that they eat better, but it's a very big opportunity for growth, right? What do they say? Like the average doctor is 7 years in medical school. And I think they're only, depending on what you hear, 2 to 5 weeks of that 7 years is about nutrition.
Exactly.
Just doesn't make sense, but that's the system that we live in. So I'm glad there's great people like you that are out there trying to change that. And they may not have eaten well in the past, but when Paige is on the case, they're going to eat well in the future, right?
That's correct. Yes.
That's awesome. Well, thanks for doing what you do. I know that's a great ministry, and I'm so glad that you're still getting out of this what you thought you're going to get out, which get to cook and be in the kitchen, but the adding value to the seniors. I'm so glad that that's been a huge part of what you're doing.
Yes.
Yeah. Well, Paige, thanks for being on here. Keep up the great work. Any last words?
Just, try to keep our seniors, if they want to stay in their home, that's what they need to do. They need to stay in their home and not move to assisted living.
Oh, that's awesome. Well, no,
and I know that's what you can help them do that too.
Yes, ma'am. Yeah, very well said. I appreciate you saying that. Yeah, I think the two big challenges are, well, three: mobility, food, health, eating well, and then the other thing that drags people down is finances. And then it's hard to eat well, and you may not be as mobile if you don't have the money to fix your home the way it needs to be fixed for the folks that are maybe they're probably not as spry as they used to be, and they may need a little help getting around the house. So that's where we come in. So yeah, thank you for saying that. So What we do is just help people find extra cash flow in retirement. And unfortunately, not everyone has their home paid off. So a lot of times we're able to come in, wipe off the mortgage so that instead of paying Wells Fargo $1,100 a month, they're able to pocket that and use it to pay people like you, pay for the in-home care. So automatically they've got, just by making that payment optional. And then sometimes we're even able to give them cash on top of that to have a emergency fund to have when they need it. And this is the HECM, which is the new and improved FHA version of a reverse mortgage. So they still own their house. They can sell their house whenever they want, but they can make payments if they want to, and they can still pass the home on to the next generation. It's basically like any other mortgage out there. The only difference is that it makes your payment optional. So you borrow money, but you don't have to make a payment if you don't want to. So thank you for segueing into that.
Yeah, that was perfect.
Yes. Yeah. It's all about helping. And that's why we do this podcast. Some people need help with finances. Some people need help with in-home care. Some people need help with eating and food. And as a senior industry, if we pull together and just be focused on the patient, not the solution, right? Focus on them, not focus on what we do, focus on them, focus on serving the seniors and getting them to the right people whenever they need it. We'll help and elevate the senior space, and we'll all do well in the process.
Yes.
Yeah. Well, thanks again, Paige. I really appreciate your time. Have a great day today. And thank you for watching the Serving Senior podcast, where we highlighted great people like Paige that help seniors thrive in retirement. Thanks again. You have a great day. Talk to you soon. Thanks, Paige.
Thanks, Matt.
Hey, this is Matt Helton with OneTrust Home Loans, home of Retirement Mortgage Solutions. And we really do appreciate you checking out the Serving Seniors podcast today. Now, please go to the description down in the body of the podcast where you can subscribe to get future shows. Please click that notification button so you get notified when other shows drop. And also, if you can go to servingseniourspodcast.com, and we'd love to hear a comment about our show. We have a heart to serve seniors, and we have a heart to make sure seniors don't just survive retirement, don't just get by in retirement. We want to show seniors how to thrive in retirement. So if you know of anyone that's 55 and older that could use some extra cash flow, maybe the retirement's not going the way that they like, our retirement mortgage solutions are designed for folks, and depending on the state, they're either 55 or 62 and older, to make sure that they have that kind of retirement that they want, as long as they own a home and they're in a good equity position. There could be some solutions that they may not have thought about, or maybe they've thought of and they just didn't know how they work. That's what we do. So anyone in that age group that could use some mortgage advice, my team and I would love to be able to help them. Thanks again, and look forward to seeing you on the next show. Have a great day.